Hi, I'm Tanya, and this is Wyatt, and welcome to Faithful Flow. It's going to be a feel good, kind of stretchy kind of class. So, I'm not going to use any specific scripture or breath prayer today, just an opportunity for you to focus on anything that the Lord's had on your heart. You can use your own breath prayer, focus on your own scripture, anything that you'd like to kind of pair with the movement that I'm going to offer today. You might have find a couple of props helpful. So, 2 blocks might be useful. We're going to move through some low lunge to long stance pyramid, and sometimes blocks underneath the hands can just make that a little more accessible. And then we're going to end in a supported fish. So, I like to do supported fish on a bolster. You can also use your blocks, or if you've got like a big, thick blanket or pillow that you'd like to roll up a little tightly, you're welcome to use that. Just anything to kind of help you open your chest as you lay down over it. So, we're going to get started in a child's pose. So, toes can be towards each other, knees is as wide as comfortable for you, and then just begin to walk your arms forward on the mat. And you want to find a little activation here, so maybe just kind of creep those fingertips just a little further along than normal. Send the hips back so that you're lengthening the back, and then you can rest your chin or your forehead down on the mat if that's comfortable. A few breaths here to get started. Inhaling and exhaling. And again, in and out. A few more breaths. Last breath here. And then we're going to add a little side stretch. So walk the hands towards the right. They can even come off the mat. Maybe left hand rest on top of right. Big stretch here along the left side of the body. Think about dropping your left armpit down towards the mat a little bit and then flaring the ribs to the left. We'll be here for 3, 2, 1. From here, walking your hands back through to center. And then over to the other side. So right hand on top of left. Drop the armpit towards that right armpit towards the ground a bit. Flare the ribs to the right. Just kind of exaggerating the stretch a bit. For 3, 2, 1. Walking the hands back through to center. Regular child's pose again. Take a breath. Let it go. And then from here up to a tabletop pose, we'll find some cat-cow. So you can stack the knees in if they were a little wider, hands underneath the shoulders. Inhale, drop the belly, lift the gaze, lift the tailbone. Exhale, round the spine, tuck the chin. Inhaling and exhaling. And then any additional movements you'd like, if you'd like to add some little barrel rolls from side to side or some kind of slinky cat action, just anything that would feel good to help you wake up your body, wake up your spine. Just moving with your breath. And if you're doing something that's had some rotation with it, go ahead and switch sides, rotate to the other side. And then finishing those rotations, let's all come back to a nice solid tabletop. Engage the core, lengthen tailbone to crown of head. And then just curl the toes under, hips up and back, down dog pose. Let's take a breath here. Inhale. And exhale. And then from here, right leg up and back. You can go ahead and bend the knee, stack the hip, take a nice stretch here. Maybe circle out the foot. And then switch direction, circle the other way. And then extend back out nice and straight. 3-legged dog, hip is square. From your 3-legged dog, shift forward, 3-legged plank pose. Keep this right leg lifted or set it down. We're going to lower all the way to our bellies. Once you're there, release both toes, a couple of cobra breaths. So elbows are pointing back towards the back of the mat. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, release back down. Twice more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, back down. Last one. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, back down. And then make your way back to down dog. Either push up, go through a tabletop, make your way back to down dog. And then other side, left leg up and back, bend the knee, stack the hip. And if you'd like to circle out the foot, you can do that. Maybe switching directions. And then straighten that leg back out. Square the hip, three-legged dog. Shift forward, three-legged plank. Keeping that left leg lifted or on the ground, lower all the way to your bellies. Once you're there, release the toes, elbows back. Go ahead and roll the shoulders up and around and back, but then spread the shoulder blades. And then lift up through the chest, cobra, and release back down. We'll do that twice more. Lifting up, cobra, and back down. And once again, cobra, and back down. From here, we're making our way to down dog. So coming through tabletop if you'd like. Hips up and back, down dog. Take a breath. Let it go. Once more, inhale. And exhale. All right, right leg's going to lift up, three-legged dog, big stretch. And then from here, big step forward, low lunge. Now, this is where you might find those blocks helpful. So you can bring blocks underneath the hands just for a little more lift. And you can stay here or you can find some movement with me. So if you'd like to drop the hips a bit more, broaden across the front of the body and the chest as you do so. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips, straighten the legs, long stance pyramid. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, long stance pyramid. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale, long stance pyramid. Let's hold here for 3, 2, 1. Bend the front leg. You can set your blocks to the side. We'll use them again in a moment. Just step this right foot back, down dog. Take a breath. Let it go. And then you're going to walk your hands back towards your feet. So walking back towards the back of the mat. Once you're there, we're going to find a malasana. So pivot the toes out, heels in, bend the knees, and come down, malasana squat. You can slide the elbows down the inner thighs, press into the thighs a bit, lift and lengthen through the spine. A few breaths here for 3, 2, 1, and then we'll make our way back to down dog. So hands to the ground, lift the hips, walk them forward, find your down dog spacing, take a breath, let it go. Other side, left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Big step forward, low lunge. And then if you'd like to use those blocks, you've got those to use underneath your hands. Stay here or add some movement. Inhale, drop the hips, broaden across the front of the chest a bit. Exhale, straighten and lengthen, long stance pyramid. Inhale, low lunge. Exhale, long stance. 3 more. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. We're going to meet here in this long stance pyramid, holding here for 3, 2, 1. Bend this front leg again. You can set the blocks off to the side. We're going to meet back in down dog. So hands to the ground, step back, down dog pose, take a breath, let it go. Walking the hands back towards your feet. We're going to find a malasana again. I'm just going to spin to face you. You can stay where you're at. So heels in, toes out, drop the hips. You can stay here just in this traditional malasana, or you can add a little opening with a twist. So right hand to the ground, left arm reaches up towards the sky. Take a full breath. Inhale. Stay for your exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale, unwind back through to center. And then we'll just switch sides. So left hand to the ground, right arm up to the sky. Inhale. And exhale. Again, inhale. Exhale, unwind back through to center. I'm just going to meet you back at the back of the mat again. And from here, we're going to find our down dog. So hands to the ground, walk forward, lift the hips, down dog pose. Take a breath. Let it go. All right, our next little movement flow. Right leg up and back, three-legged dog. From our three-legged dog, shift the shoulders forward, three-legged plank. Up and back again, three-legged dog. And again, shift forward, three-legged plank. Once more. Up and back, three-legged dog. Shift forward, three-legged plank. And then we're going to come into a wild thing. So right foot's going to step over and behind you. Lift the hips to the air. Extend the arm overhead. And we'll do some little press-ups. So lower the hips down towards the ground. And then lift back up. And again, lower them. And back up. Once more, lower the hips. Press back up, wild thing. This time we'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. See if you can come back into a three-legged plank. So hands to the ground, lift this right leg up and back. And then three-legged down dog. And then set that right foot down. Traditional down dog. Take a breath. Let it go. Other side. Left leg up and back, three-legged dog. Shift forward, three-legged plank. Up and back, three-legged dog. And three-legged plank. Once more, three-legged dog. Three-legged plank. From our three-legged plank, left leg crosses behind you. Open the hips, left arm overhead, wild thing. And then we've got those little press-ups. Lower the hips down towards the ground. And then lift back up. Twice more. Lower. And lift. And once again, lower. And lift. This time when we lift, we'll hold here for 3, 2, 1. Coming back into that three-legged plank. Both hands to the ground. Left leg up and back, three-legged plank. And then hips up and back, three-legged dog. And then down dog. Take a breath. Let it go. Once more, breath in. And out. Inhale, look forward. Exhale, make your way up to the front of the mat. We're going to find a forward fold. So we're going to take some options here. You can lasso your big toe with your first 2 fingers here. Bend your elbows wide, put a bend in your knee, and then put a generous bend in your knee. Bring your chest down to where it rests on the quads, and then lift up. And again, bend the knees generously, and then lift the hips, fold forward. Once more, bend generously, and then lift the hips, forward fold. This time we'll stay here for 3, 2, 1. Keep a hold of the toes. Inhale, lift and lengthen through the spine. Find the flat back. And then release your hands up to your hips. Inhale, come all the way up to stand. We'll find a mountain pose here. Maybe stepping the feet together. Take a breath. Let it go. Again, inhale. And exhale. All right, from here, we're going to find a chair pose. Bend the knees, drop the hips, arms up overhead. And then we're going to add a twist. So hands come to heart center. We're going to twist to the left. So you can do a fist with the top wrist to press into the space hand, or traditional prayer hands, whatever feels good. Think about bringing right elbow outside of left knee and then twisting through the spine. So twist through the ribs, the shoulders, and the head. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind back through to center. If you need to straighten your legs, you can. And then other side, twisting to the right. Left elbow outside of right knee. Maybe the top hand in a fist to press into the left wrist. Twist through the ribs, the shoulders, and the head. Holding here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind back to chair pose. And then stand up, hands to heart. Take a breath. Let it go. One more breath here. Good job. Inhale. And exhale. From here, we're going to step to the side of the mat. We're setting up for a wide leg forward fold. So toes facing the long end of the mat, hands to the hips. Inhale, grow really tall, gaze up. Exhale, keep all the length, fold forward. Hands can come to the ground. Traditional wide leg forward fold to start with, so shift your weight towards the toes just a bit. Take a breath. Let it go. Again, inhale. And exhale. You can stay here, or you can put a bend in this left leg. Reach your hands for this right foot. Big stretch along the side body. So really anchor your hands with this right foot as you bend deeply into the left. Take a breath. Let it go. Once more, inhale. And exhale. And then straighten this left leg. Walk your hands all the way to the other side. So find the left foot, bend into the right foot, or right leg rather. And then really anchor yourself down on this left foot as you bend the right. Stretch the side body. Take a breath. And exhale. Twice more. Inhale. And exhale. Last one. Straightening both legs. Bring your hands back to center. Traditional wide leg forward fold. Take a breath. Let it go. And then we're going to find a skandasana. So deep bend in the left leg. You can pivot so that the right toes and knee are facing up towards the ceiling. Lift up through the chest. Stay here. If you'd like similar arms like we did with Malasana earlier, left arm to the ground, right arm up overhead. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Hands back to heart center. See if you can switch sides and do this without any hands. So staying low and just switch into the right leg. And once you're there, if you fell a little bit, that's fine. Just readjust yourself. Land with your left toes and left knee facing up towards the ceiling. Stay here or add the hands. Right arm to the ground, left arm up to the sky. Breathing here for 3, 2, 1. Both hands to heart center, lifting back up to stand, meeting this wide leg forward fold. Hands to the hips. Inhale with a straight back. Come all the way up to stand. Exhale, pause here. And then we'll just meet at the front of the mat. Find a mountain pose. Take a breath. Let it go. One more breath. Let it go. All right, a little bit left. Arms up, gaze up. Inhale. Exhale, dive forward, forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, plant the hands. We'll meet in down dog. If you'd like to go through a flow, you can. Otherwise, just step back, down dog. Inhaling. And exhaling. And then from here, we're going to meet on our knees. So bring our knees down to the mat. You can release the toes, sit back. We're going to start with a little baby camel, and then we'll add some camel breaths. So starting with the baby camel, hands interlaced behind you. Open the chest, send the hands back. Maybe lift the hands up off the butt. A few breaths here for 3, 2, 1. Release some of the tension. Keep the hands interlaced. We're going to send our hands over to the right side waist. I'm just going to spin so you can see what this looks like. So hand package over here to the right. Drop the left shoulder and then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. So we're really stretching out this left side of the neck here. You can stay here, or you can kind of tuck your chin towards your shoulder a bit and then lift it up towards the sky.
You'll find a spot along there, or you may find a spot along there that feels a little better than the rest. When you kind of find that spot, you can pause there. Last breath cycle here. Then lift the head back up through center, and we'll switch. So whole little hand package comes over to the left side waist. Flare your elbows wide. Drop your right shoulder, and then bring your left ear towards your left shoulder. Stay, or begin to kind of bring the chin towards the shoulder a bit. And then lift up, gaze up towards the ceiling. A few more little rocks here. And if you find that spot that feels really good, you can just pause there. One more full breath cycle. And then bring that head back to neutral. Lift it up. Release the hands. And then we're going to find some cobra breaths or camel. So either camel breaths or dancing camel. This pose has a couple of different names. So I like to do it with blocks behind me, kind of on the outside of the feet. Just gives me a little more room to lift. So you're going to put your right hand on the block or on the ground if you don't have one. You're going to sweep your left hand across your body, lift your hips, open the chest, this little half camel. And then we'll switch sides. So drop the heels and switch other side. Left hand behind you, right arm sweeps up. And then switching sides, lowering, sweeping around and lifting up. And then lowering, sweeping around and lifting up. We'll do 2 more on each side. So right hand to the ground, inhaling and switching. Left hand to the ground, right arm up. And again, switching. And then after that, just find a seat. You can move your blocks away. Pause, take a breath. Let it go. One more breath. Let it go. From here, we're going to find a pigeon pose. We'll take a couple of variations. So we're going to get there through a down dog. So just hands to the ground, lift the hips up and back. Take a breath. Let it go. And then right foot's going to step forward towards the left wrist. Sit up tall. If you'd like to put some padding or something underneath the right hip, you're welcome to. Take a breath here. Inhale. Exhale, fold in. So our first variation is the sleeping pigeon. A few breaths here. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Adding a twist. So left forearm stays on the ground. Right hand's going to press under the right thigh. You're going to ground down through that right thigh and then press up and away. So lifting up through the right shoulder, gaze up towards the ceiling. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind both hands to the ground. You're going to lift your chest. You can rotate onto the outer right hip a little bit so that you've got some room to bring this left leg up and around. And we're going to find a double pigeon. So stack this left ankle on top of the right knee. Allow the left knee to hang open. Sit up tall. And then walk the hands forward if you have room. Breathing here, a few breaths. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walking the hands in, lift the chest. You're going to uncross the legs. We're going to find a boat pose here between sides. So boat pose, lift the chest. It can be a bent knee or a straight leg boat. Inhale. And exhale. Once again, inhale. And exhale. And then from here, cross the ankles, hands to the ground, step or hop back, take a flow, or just go straight to down dog. I'll wait for you if you're taking a flow. And then other side, so pigeon, left foot forward, so left foot towards this right wrist. Think about rotating this left leg in the hip socket. Right leg is long and straight behind you, top of the legs on the mat. If you want some padding underneath this right hip, you can. Wherever you're at, inhale, grow a little longer, a little taller. Exhale, fold in, forearms to the ground. Maybe rest your forehead on your arms here. Several breaths here. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can stay here or add the twist. So for the twist, right forearm is going to stay on the ground. Left hand presses onto the left thigh. Ground down through that leg. Lift up and twist through the chest. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Unwind both hands to the ground, lift the chest. Rotate onto this outer left hip a bit so you've got room to swing this right leg around, up and over. Right ankle on top of left knee. You can put a block between the knees for support if you'd like to. Inhale, grow tall. Stay here or walk the hands forward as you lean in for double pigeon. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Walking the hands in. Uncross the legs. We'll find a boat pose. Lift the chest. Take a breath. Let it go. One more breath here. And then releasing that. And then from here, we're going to find a head to knee variation. So you've got 2 options. So the first one is you can spin to face the side of your mat if you'd like to. Left leg is long. Right leg comes in like a half butterfly. We're going to lean over the left leg. So this is option 1. The second option is to prop this foot up. So the foot's on the ground, knees up in the air. And then you can grab this it's your right ankle with your left hand and right arm up and over. So we're leaning to the side over this left leg, either with this foot up or in the traditional position. The foot up might give you a little more room to fold a little deeper. We'll be here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can lift the chest, and we're going to meet in a half hero. So you can spin to face the back of your mat. You're going to bring this right knee to meet your left. And if you were in the traditional position, you can just kind of make your way into here. So left leg's long, right leg is bent. You can lean and actually move this calf muscle out of the way. And then staying here or maybe coming back onto your forearms. Before you get too comfortable, lift your hips, lengthen your tailbone, and put them back down on the ground. Now you can stay here, or if you've got the room, you're welcome to lay all the way down onto your back, or even extend your arms overhead. Now I want you to bring some attention to this left leg. So a lot of times we just focus on this right leg, but go ahead and either flex or point this left foot. Doesn't matter to me. I just want to make sure that that left leg is still active as well. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now we've got to be slow and intentional coming out of this. If arms are overhead, you can bring them back down. Step 1 is to come back up onto the forearms. And then from there, hands to the ground, press up out of this. And then unwind to the side of your mat again. And then other side. So right leg long, left leg bends in. So option 1 is this traditional hand to knee, leaning over this left leg. Option 2 is propping this left foot up on the ground, grabbing the left ankle with the right hand, and then lifting up and leaning over to the right. Wherever you're at, think about opening up through the chest, gazing up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can release that, come back up to a seat. And then pivoting back towards the front of your mat, bending this left leg. You can kind of square off the hips a bit. Move to the side so you can actually move this left calf muscle out of the way. Sit up nice and tall. Stay here in this half hero, or begin to come down onto your forearms. If you're coming down, lift your hips a bit, lengthen the tailbone and set it back down. That'll just help you to get a little deeper stretch in this left quad and hip flexor. Stay here, or if you'd like to and you have room, you're welcome to come down onto your back. And then maybe even extend the arms overhead, stacking the forearms, opposite forearm on top. A few breaths here. We're here for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Releasing that, arms towards the ground, starting to come up. You can come onto your forearms to start with, and then hands to the ground, press yourself up. And then just unwind this left leg. We'll just find an easy seat. We'll take a couple of breaths there, and then we'll move into that supported fish. So sitting up nice and tall, inhale. And exhale. And again, in and out. Last breath. All right, and then for your supported fish, if you have a bolster or a pillow or whatever you're using, you want to put it lengthwise on the mat. You want a little bit of space between the back of your pelvis here or your tailbone and the bolster. And then you're just going to relax down over this, bringing your arms out to the side. And then similar like we did earlier, press into your feet, lift and lengthen the tailbone, and then put it back down. That just prevents any scrunching in the back. And then you can bring your legs anywhere that you're comfortable. So you can leave them here with the legs bent and the feet on the ground. You can take a butterfly with the soles of the feet together and knees wide. You can extend the legs long on the mat. It doesn't matter to me. I'd just like for you to find something that feels good on your body, that allows you to open and also to rest. Take several breaths here. Nice slow inhales and exhales. And again, in and out. Begin the process of letting go of tension in your body. Release any stress that you might have in your forehead. Unclench your jaw. Allow your tongue to fall away from the roof of the mouth. Get soft in the neck. Allow your spine to just melt down into your prop. Allow your chest to open.
Let your arms hang heavy on either side. Allow the hands to be soft. Release each of the fingers. Relax the hips and the glutes. Release tension in the legs and the feet. Make sure each toe is soft. Bring your awareness back to your breath now. See if you can just feel the rhythm of your breath. Feel the lungs expand as you draw breath in. And feel your breath passing over your upper lip as you exhale. Take a moment or two here. Just embrace and appreciate what it feels like to be peaceful, to be fearless, and to be still. I'll take a few more moments here. I'll let you know when it's time to move. Begin to bring some awareness back into your body. Maybe wiggle your fingers and your toes. You can even make some circles with your hands and your feet. If you'd like a good morning stretch, you can do that arms overhead, legs nice and long. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And then to come out of this pose, just be careful because you've been on this prop for a while. So nice and gingerly just kind of roll to one side. Take a couple of breaths there. You can cradle your head in your arms. And from there, press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Any seat is comfortable. Let's bring our hands over our heart center. Sit up tall, tuck our chin. We'll take a breath together here. Inhale. And exhale. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope that you enjoyed that your body and your spirit and your soul feels good. Maybe there's a little space between you and those kind of overwhelming thoughts that we can all get sometimes. I hope to see you again soon. Grace and peace. Bye. Hi again. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your time and your interest in Christian yoga and Faithful Flow. I hope that you're finding these classes helpful both for your walk of faith and your yoga practice. My channel is brand new. I'm still building content and releasing classes, but I am taking requests. So if there's something that you'd like to see covered, please let me know. I'm happy to do post tutorials, class themes, focus on scripture verses, or some sort of discussion if you have a question about how the Christian life and yoga can work together, how yoga can help you to support your walk of faith. I'd love to help you kind of navigate through that. So you can reach me here by leaving a comment. You can reach me on my social channels or my website at faithfulflow.com. There's links to all of those below in the notes. So thank you so much for your time. Until I see you again, grace and peace.